Hi guys, it's Monday and I am in Flagstaff. I just realized I forgot my parking pass. It's in the other car. Listen to this. At NAU, faculty members are required to pay for their parking passes. I have to pay to go to work. And not just a little bit. $400 a year I have to pay to be able to go to work. I just think it's ridiculous. But, so next year I'll only have to pay for the fall parking pass, and then, of course, I'm retiring at the end of December. So I'm hoping to get emeritus status, which means I will still be connected with NAU, and so on occasion, I might need to park on campus, and if I join the NAU Retiree Association, I get a parking pass for $15. How's that? So I'm going to I really don't have any reason to be in Flagstaff for work, but since I came up here with John, I'm going to be up here the whole day. I'm up here because I'm having a daddy-daughter day trip. For my dad's birthday, I had given him a little book of vouchers, 6 vouchers for daddy-daughter day trips. And so we have only done one because my dad got sick after that. And so we weren't able to, he was in skilled nursing for 6 weeks. So we did one at Christmas time. We went out to lunch, and then I took him shopping to buy my mom a Christmas gift. So we have 5 more to go. And so one of the places he loves to go is Cameron Trading Post. You may remember that I took him there last summer for Father's Day. That day did not turn out as planned because it's a lot warmer in Cameron than it is here. It's an hour's drive from Flagstaff, but it's quite a bit warmer. And so it was a really warm day. While it was nice in Flagstaff, it was probably in the high 90s. Maybe it was in the low hundreds. My dad completely overheated. I mean, even though we went from the car into the restaurant, everything was fine. Then he wanted to kind of have a look around, and then he overheated and he could hardly walk, and it was just not good. His blood pressure was off, and so we decided that if we were ever going to go there again, it needed to be when the weather would still be nice there. So I said to my dad the other day, we've got to do the Cameron. If you want to go to Cameron as one of these vouchers, we're going to have to go now. Otherwise, we're going to have to wait till next October. So anyway, so that's what we're doing today. I am picking him up at around 10. We'll probably get on our way by around 10:15 or 10:30. Take us an hour to get there. We'll have lunch, and then after lunch I'll take him back. He'll probably be absolutely exhausted by then, and then I will go back to the office and do, I'll probably have about an hour and a half to do some work, and then then it'll be time to pick up John. It's absolutely lovely blue skies. Can you see here? But it's just typical Flagstaff. It is absolutely beautiful. You look at everything. Some of the trees are starting to get leaves on them, but it's just freezing. It's 33 right now, and and then it will probably get windy because that is typical spring weather in Flagstaff. Although we're finding that wind is part of spring weather in Camp Verde too. It's just not cold like it is here. I want to put a reminder out at the beginning of this vlog that I want to do another Q&A. I have 2 people who have asked questions, and so if you guys have any other questions that you didn't ask for the previous Q&A video, go ahead and let me know, and I'll add those to the list. And then when I have a few more questions, I will do another video. I wanted to pick up my dad. I wanted to give you an update on him. I've been kind of wondering about what his memory is like and all of that. And, like when he doesn't call me, is it because he doesn't remember me or whatever? I don't think that ever happens. Because every time I see him, I came to see him last week. He didn't know I was coming, and he, immediately just perked up as soon as he saw me. He also asks about John a lot, and so just out of the blue asks about him. He remembered that John was applying for a job and said, hey, how did that go? And that had been like, a week ago. He forgets, what I'm noticing is he gets confused by things that have to do with dates and calendars. So I told him I was going to be picking him up for this. I told him this last week, and he was looking at the calendar he has for his physical therapy appointments, and he got so confused by what I was telling him for when I was going to pick him up, because he was thinking about the other days this week that he has physical therapy. And then he also called me on Saturday, was it? He called me on Saturday, and he said, Jen, I just wanted to call to confirm about, or no, he said, I wanted to call because I think we said something about going out to Cameron Trading Post. And I just wanted to confirm that with you. So when I talked to him, I said, yeah, I said, we are going to go on Monday. And he said, oh, okay. And he goes, well, I was a little confused about that. And I said, I'm not surprised, because you were thinking about your physical therapy stuff, and you were kind of getting the two things mixed up. And so then he was like, okay. And I said, well, why don't you write it down on your calendar? Write it down, Monday at 10 o'clock, I'm going to come pick you up. And so he did. And then a couple of hours later, he called and he said, so Jen, I wanted to confirm with you about going out to Cameron Trading Post. And he said, I wanted to confirm with you about that. And I said, okay. And I said, yeah. I said, so I said, do you remember when we're going? And he said, 11 days. And I said, no. And he goes, 12? And I said, no, actually it's in 2 days. We're going on Monday. And I said, look at your calendar. And he goes, oh yeah, it's on there for 10 o'clock. So then yesterday he called, and he was kind of confused again about when we were going. So I think it has to do partly with short term, and also with just there's something about dates and time that get messed up for him. But anyway, so as I'm pulling up here at the place where my dad lives, I'm thinking, is he even going to be ready to go? Like, is he even going to remember, or am I going to find him eating right now? I don't know, because we're going for lunch, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. And I'll see if he wants to talk to you guys and tell you about our trip. My dad and I are here at Cameron Trading Post, and it took about an hour from Flagstaff to get here, and we're going to go inside and have lunch. But I thought I would have my dad tell you about what we're doing. Okay, Dad.
Well, this is the Navajo Trading Post in the town of Cameron. And right next door to this is the United States Post Office that's labeled for Cameron.
Tell about the restaurant.
Well, to our right, and people are just coming out of the double doors there. That takes you into the area where they sell a lot of Indian arts and crafts. They also, on the far end, it's a dining room, which is a very interesting place.
description and a picture of the Navajo taco. All right, that's my dad's burger. Do you think you're gonna finish that thing?
I'm not sure.
Give it a good college try.
What that is.
And this is my quesadilla, vegetarian quesadilla. I cannot believe this, but my dad devoured almost that entire thing. It was a double patty. I'm surprised you're not just fat right now. Guys, I just finished dropping my dad off. You know, it's so weird. My dad gets so worn out when he's out of his routine. All we did was I put him in the car. We drove out to Cameron Trading Post. It was about an hour. Then we went into the restaurant and we sat down and we ate. And then we got up and we went back out to the car and we drove back for an hour, and he was exhausted. I mean, his legs were so tired that I actually made him sit down in his walker. He has one of those walkers that has a seat on it. You can kind of turn it around the other way and sit. And so I had him sit in the walker and lift his feet up, and then I pushed him like he was in a wheelchair. And then I took him back up to his room, and then I went down the hall to the medical assistants and just said, I just totally wore him out. Can you check on him to make sure he's okay? So anyway, we had a good time, but sorry that cut off, you guys. My phone filled up. So anyway, I went over to work, and then I'm going to pick up John now. All that to say, you know, my dad got worn out, and he's okay, but he got really super tired. So hi guys, it is Tuesday evening. I haven't filmed all day. Sorry, not really a lot to talk about really, or show you, or anything like that. So right now I am on my way over to Cottonwood, where I'm going to attend the nutrition study class. We haven't met for several weeks now, and we're at the part of the study where we're just meeting once a month. What that rattle is in the back. I'm driving John's truck. So anyway, we haven't met in, gosh, it seems like it's been more than a month, but if it's been more than a month, it's probably only been 5 weeks. Just seems like a long time. And I didn't go up to Flagstaff today, so I just decided that I would attend the study, you know, just a half hour away from my house. Hi guys, it's Wednesday morning, 8:15, and look at me, I already have some makeup on. I didn't really do much to my hair, but I have one of John's co-workers is coming by this morning, and she's gonna pick up some boxes from us. We still have a garage filled with, you know, like 200 boxes. And so anyway, she's probably not even gonna make a dent in what we have, but I'm hoping that she'll take a bunch of them. And then, let's see, doing a little bit of freelance work today. You know, one of my viewers, after seeing my last video, told me about something for my garden that I need to keep in mind, and that is that, you know, I planted tomatillo, a tomatillo plant out in my garden, and you know, it didn't even say on the package that you won't get a tomatillo if you don't plant more than one. I mean, you won't get any harvest from it because they don't self-pollinate, and I've never grown tomatillos before, and I was planning to grow one. The kind of tomatillo that we're growing is not one like those green ones that well, they may be green, I don't know, but you know, the kind that are used in salsa. It actually is one that has they taste like pineapple, and so you just eat them, like you just pop them in your mouth right off the plant, and they're not that real tart flavor like regular tomatillos are. So I thought that would be fun to try, but I wouldn't have had any fun if I'd only grown one, because I would have been frustrated that nothing happened. Thank you so much for which one of my viewers? I'll pop that in there. But thank you so much for telling me about that, because I would have been really disappointed. But then as I went out there and planted the seeds for the second tomatillo, I realized that I had screwed up on something. I do crop rotation, and which means that, you know, you plant in one place 1 year and then you move to hi guys, it's Thursday. Sorry, I got cut off on that last on that last clip, what I was telling you was about crop rotation, and you plant in different places, different years. You plant different things in different places. So you don't want to plant your tomatoes in the same spot every year, and you don't want to plant your carrots in the same place every year, because what happens is any pests that you're going to get, and you'll always get some kind of pests, they will then lay their eggs in the soil, and then the next year they'll winter over, even in cold places like Flagstaff, where I used to live. And then they winter over, and when the larvae hatch in the spring, if there's food there that they eat, then they're going to come back with a vengeance, and then they're going to lay more eggs, and the next year it will get even worse. It will also cut down on your production, for your harvest. So if you move your plants to different spots, even if it's like what I have with boxes, even if you just move one box over, that's all you need to do. That keeps the larva contained in the place where they were, and then when they're hatched, they don't find the food that they like to eat, and then they die. And so you just don't end up with the same kind of problem. So anyway, what I realized was that I had planted the tomatillos, or the tomatillo plant, in with my squash, and it's not in the same family. The squash is in the Cucurbitaceae family. I took a botany class a few years ago. And then the tomatillos are in the nightshade family, which is the same family as tomatoes. So I am going to take out the seeds that I put in the squash area and put some other kinds of squash in there instead. And then I have a couple spots in my tomato garden beds where I can plant some tomatillos. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to plant 2 so I get a harvest. So thanks for that great information. I didn't have a lot to film yesterday. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to go one extra day with this. Normally I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I post that as a vlog, but I'm going to go ahead and put Thursday on here just to make it a little bit longer. So dinner tonight is going to be mushroom, asparagus, roasted vegetables in quinoa pilaf. And the quinoa is being cooked with some white wine and also vegetable broth. And yeah, these were just roasted with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then in here also it's supposed to be shallots. I didn't have a shallot, so I put in some sweet onion. And yeah, then you mix it all up, and it should be tasty. The asparagus, well, these mushrooms I had left over from, I don't know, probably a week and a half ago. Figured we should eat those. And then this is asparagus from my garden. I didn't have a ton. I had like 5 shoots, and so figured I would go ahead and use those. And this is how it looks, and it's quite tasty. I will put a link in the space below for you.